same stuff. You really think you're different? Man, you must be kidding. You're gonna hit it, but you just don't get it. It's impossible, it's not probable, you're irresponsible. Too many obstacles, you gotta stop it, yo. You gotta take it slow, you can't be a pro. Don't waste your time no more. Who the fuck are you to tell me what to do? I don't give a damn if you say you disapprove. I'm gonna make my move, I'm gonna make it soon. And I'll do it cause it's what I wanna fucking do. Cause all these opinions and all these positions, they come in millions, they blocking your vision. But no, you can't listen, that shit is all fiction. Cause you hold the power as long as you're dreaming.
There's no way that you make it. And maybe you could fake it, but you're never gonna make it. Aren't you just gonna take that? Make them take it all back. Don't tell me you believe that. Aren't you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back? Fight back.
You ain't never ever gonna break it. You can never beat them and they're better than you face it. Thinking that they give a damn, you're not thinking straight, kid. No, they don't give a damn, you got what I'm saying? I'm not fucking playing, I'll give it to you straight, man. There's too many others and you're not that great, man. Stop what you're saying, stop what you're making. Everybody here knows that you just faking. Nah, I don't wanna hear it anymore, I don't wanna hear it anymore. All these fucking thoughts, they are not what I need anymore. I'm about to shut the motherfucking door on all you poor ass haters with your heads in the clouds, talking out loud so proud. You better shut your goddamn mouth before I do more speak out. It's about to head south.
You're never gonna make it. There's no way that you make it. And maybe you could fake it, but you're never gonna make it. Aren't you just gonna take that? Make them take it all back. Don't tell me you believe that. Aren't you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back? Fight back.
You're never gonna make it, you're not good enough. There's a million other people with the same stuff. You really think you're different? Man, you must be kidding. Think you're gonna hit it, but you just don't get it. It's impossible, it's not probable, you're irresponsible. Too many obstacles, you gotta stop it, yo. You gotta take it slow, you can't be a pro. Don't waste your time no more. Who the fuck are you to tell me what to do? I don't give a damn if you say you disapprove. I'm gonna make my move, I'm gonna make it soon. And I'll do it cause it's what I wanna fucking do. Cause all these opinions and all these positions, they come in millions, they blocking your vision. But no, you can't listen, that shit is all fiction. Cause you hold the power as long as you're dreaming.
There's no way that you make it. And maybe you could fake it, but you're never gonna make it. Aren't you just gonna take that? Make them take it all back. Don't tell me you believe that. Aren't you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back? Fight back. You ain't never ever gonna break it. You can never beat them and they're better than you face it. Thinking that they give a damn, you're not thinking straight, kid. No, they don't give a damn, you got what I'm saying? I'm not fucking playing, I'll give it to you straight, man. There's too many others and you're not that great, man. Stop what you're saying, stop what you're making. Everybody here knows that you just faking. Nah, I don't wanna hear it anymore, I don't wanna hear it anymore. All these fucking thoughts, they are not what I need anymore. I'm about to shut the motherfucking door on all you poor ass haters with your heads in the clouds, talking out loud so proud.
shut your goddamn mouth before I do more, speak out. It's about to head south.
You're never gonna make it. There's no way that you make it. Yeah, maybe you could fake it, but you're never gonna make it. Aren't you just gonna take that? Make them take it all back. Don't tell me you believe that. Aren't you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back? Or will you fucking fight back?
You're never gonna make it, you're not good enough. There's a million other people with the same stuff. You really think you're different? Man, you must be kidding. Think you're gonna hit it, but you just don't get it. It's impossible, it's not probable, you're irresponsible. Too many obstacles, you gotta stop it, yo. You gotta take it slow, you can't be a pro. Don't waste your time no more. Who the fuck are you to tell me what to do? I don't give a damn if you say you disapprove. I'm gonna make my move, I'm gonna make it soon. And I'll do it cause it's what I wanna fucking do. Cause all these opinions and all these positions, they come in millions, they blocking your vision. But no, you can't listen, that shit is all fiction. Cause you hold the power as long as you're dreaming.
There's no way that you make it. And maybe you could fake it, but you're never gonna make it. Aren't you just gonna take that? Make them take it all back. Don't tell me you believe that. Aren't you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back? Fight back.
You ain't never ever gonna break it. You can never beat them and they're better than you face it. Thinking that they're giving them, you're not thinking straight, kid. No, they don't give a damn, you got what I'm saying? I'm not fucking playing, I'll give it to you straight, man. There's too many others and you're not that great, man. Stop what you're saying, stop what you're making. Everybody here knows that you just faking. Nah, I don't wanna hear it anymore, I don't wanna hear it anymore. All these fucking thoughts, they are not what I need anymore. I'm about to shut the motherfucking door on all you poor ass haters with your heads in the clouds, talking out loud so proud. You better shut your goddamn mouth before I do more, speak out. It's about to head south.
You're never gonna make it. There's no way that you make it. Yeah, maybe you could fake it, but you're never gonna make it. Aren't you just gonna take that? Make them take it all back. Don't tell me you believe that. Aren't you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back? Fight back.
You're never gonna make it, you're not good enough. There's a million other people with the same stuff. You really think you're different? Man, you must be kidding. Think you're gonna hit it, but you just don't get it. It's impossible, it's not probable, you're irresponsible. Too many obstacles, you gotta stop it, yo. You gotta take it slow, you can't be a pro, don't waste your time no more. Who the fuck are you to tell me what to do? I don't give a damn if you say you disapprove. I'm gonna make my move, I'm gonna make it soon, and I'll do it cause it's what I wanna fucking do. Cause all these opinions and all these positions, they come in millions, they blocking your vision. But no, you can't listen, that shit is all fiction. Cause you hold the power as long as you're driven.
There's no way that you make it. And maybe you could fake it, but you're never gonna make it. Aren't you just gonna take that? Make them take it all back. Don't tell me you believe that. Aren't you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back? Fight back.
You ain't never ever gonna break it. You can never beat them and they're better than you face it. Thinking that they give a damn, you're not thinking straight, kid. No, they don't give a damn, you got what I'm saying? I'm not fucking playing, I'll give it to you straight, man. There's too many others and you're not that great, man. Stop what you're saying, stop what you're making. Everybody here knows that you just faking. Nah, I don't wanna hear it anymore, I don't wanna hear it anymore. All these fucking thoughts, they are not what I need anymore. I'm about to shut the motherfucking door on all you poor ass haters with your heads in the clouds, talking out loud so proud. You better shut your goddamn mouth before I do more speak out. It's about to head south.
Never gonna make it. There's no way that you make it. And maybe you could fake it, but you're never gonna make it. Aren't you just gonna take that? Make them take it all back. Don't tell me you believe that. Aren't you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back? Fight back.
You're never gonna make it, you're not good enough. There's a million other people with the same stuff. You really think you're different, man, you must be kidding. Think you're gonna hit it, but you just don't get it. It's impossible, it's not probable, you're irresponsible. Too many obstacles, you gotta stop it, yo. You gotta take it slow, you can't be a pro, don't waste your time no more. Who the fuck are you to tell me what to do?
Welcome to the Redeye stream number 258. We are once again, we're talking about the internet, the state of the internet. I will not let this fucking die. I will not let this motherfucking go. What's going on? I'm joined here by the memes of destruction. Shut up, memes. Nah, go ahead. What's up? What's going on, bro?
Wait, what? Who? What? Oh, I heard something about on the internet. We're on the internet, right?
Well, what's the current state of the internet, man? Is it good?
Yeah, well, I mean, some may say it's strong, even though there's sporadic disconnectivity due to internet node architecture. But that often seems very boring, and I think the context we're going through is what the hell is going on as far as folks being able to do stuff and things, access stuff and things, and be able to express their views and things on the internet. And it seems like there's some terms of service changes and updates going on for PayPal and stuff. I hear there's rumor they're updating, trying to account for potential certain laws and future legislation.
Here's the goddamn thing, man. There's no real terms of service update on YouTube, though, is there? But you know, if they don't like you, they're gonna fucking blacklist your dumb ass. Welcome to the show. This is the Redeye. We don't give a fuck, YouTube. 2 middle fingers up. We're fucking rolling out here. What's going on? I also am joined by Voice of One, if you'll ever unmute and join us. And also B. And of course, our wonderful production manager, Optimus, is in the background. What's going on, everybody?
Yo.
Woohoo, we're on the hill and I'm gonna hop in.
Oh God, B, I'm not gonna lie, that really is the most terrifying thing I've seen in the past 24 hours. The sheer fact you started a GoFundMe and you said Harpoon, and I'm like, oh, that's adorable. She's gonna be getting a little like Poseidon, like little Comic-Con style thing, and then I go to the GoFundMe and it's like, oh, zero of $22,000. I'm like, what? It is an actual functioning harpoon. Wow,
yeah.
style designed for her spaceship when she gets it.
Yep.
No, and here's the thing. I'm looking at the chat here real quick. What is up, Tyro? We got MC up in the chat. Hey, MC, you know where we're at. Like, come on. You know what's going on. Of course, he's a regular. He says, hi, all. I think I've been trolling my favorite target a bit too much lately. Nothing better than trolling atheists. I mean, all right. I could think of something better. It'd be trolling the Christian Scientists, right? That'd be a little bit better than trolling the atheist community. Just throwing that out there. But no, the current state of the goddamn internet is bad, isn't it? It's fucking atrocious. Memes. You have Tim Pool talking about a civil war. You have Tim Pool looking like a goddamn Glenn Beck circa fucking 2005. What's going on, memes? The fuck, dude? That we're in some tough
as far as that, hey, I remember Glenn Beck back in the day. And I remember back then, Papa Bill O'Reilly giving him a little interview saying, will you give President Obama a fair shake? And I don't think he outrightly said yes. And I'm like, who is this man? And then I actually started watching him for a while. I'm like, oh, he's got some points and everything. And then as I continued to watch him, the chalkboard started to get a little more concerning. And then there were more and more stuff and things that he was covering. And I'm like, oh. And then by the end, my brother's, no, hold on, Matt. By the end, my brother Stats is like, in the later days of Glenn Beck, he's like, yeah, I saw like a commercial for MREs and a gold commercial. All the advertisers left.
Oh, well, you know, everybody needs their gold and you need your meals ready to eat, motherfucker. That's what it is. We're preparing for the end times. The liberals are coming after our guns. Haven't you heard? I got the chalkboard right.
Legislation over there in Oregon, I hear.
Oh, you want to go that route, memes?
Oh, we're there, dude.
Oh, we can talk about Massachusetts, my friend. What's going on over there?
We can. We have somebody potentially considering running for president, and you guys basically have bombs at some of the police stations there.
Hey, you know, it is what it is. Just because we have the IRA doesn't mean we are anti-Irish. God damn it, no. Sorry, channeling my inner Pinoid there. But no, dude, okay. Here's the thing, though. When it comes to the internet, what I'm talking about is the pushback from the large internet corporations that are trying to shut us directly. Let's be real about it. They want us to shut the fuck up, memes. They want you to shut the fuck up. Why? Like, who are you? And, like, aren't you on their side 99% of the time?
Wait a second. Are you saying the folks controlling the internet are cabbages?
Yeah, maybe.
Because that's often who I hear that from, who is unfortunately unable to join us this evening because he has Windows 7, but doesn't seem to have the ability to operate Discord for some reason. My apologies, Cabby. Somewhere along the internet, I heard there was a meme that said, learn to code. I apologize, Cabby. That was a low blow. That was mean. It was an ad hom. I shouldn't have said it on here. But then again, I am a drama.
Hey, no. To be fair, memes. I mean, if he learned to code, he could jump in here and tell you to shut up himself, right? But he can't. So shut up, memes. There you go. I handled it for him.
No, but segmenting back, yeah, Matt. I guess there was some news up in your neck of the woods. Apparently, that gentleman that drew his sidearm on the police and ended up having his life taken. Apparently, he dropped off an incendiary device at one of your local police stations over there.
Well, it obviously didn't go off because I didn't see the smoke cloud. But yeah, no. Soy boy looking motherfucker who took a gun to a fucking school zone, act like a goddamn idiot, was probably fucking begging to die, you know, suicide by a cop. Yeah, that dumb motherfucker tried to put a pipe bomb somewhere. I believe it. And fuck him, bro.
Are you sure it was a pipe bomb and not a lighter?
I heard it was an incendiary device, basically something that was feasible, and they actually had to send in the bomb disposal unit. I don't think it was an actually explosive device. I think it was something designed to potentially catch on fire and stuff down.
Hey, well, okay, here's the thing, man. It definitely wasn't a lighter because he was probably so high on crystal meth that he already used all his lighter fluid. So, I mean, that's not going to catch anything on fire. People be crazy, man. My kids, dude, I was live during the Redeye. I think you were there, memes, right? And my kids come in early. They come home an hour and a half early. I didn't get a phone call. I didn't get nothing. And they tell me, Dad, there was a bomb threat at the school. And I'm hearing it from my kids as they get off the bus an hour early. First off, no call. What if I wasn't even fucking home?
Well, they would have updated you and let you know why. I mean, they would have sent something home. They wouldn't have just told your kids, oh, by the way, somebody threatened the school. You're going home. Tell Dad. Like that. Yeah, they'd have to send something.
It really is. My wife didn't get a call either. I mean, we both got cell phones. I mean, shit. Everybody's got a motherfucking cell phone. Hey, I mean, go ahead, memes.
Give me 2 seconds, brother.
Oh, motherfucking cell phone's going off. Well, you proved
Is he ditching us for his girlfriend, or is that his mum?
Well, at least it's not Mundane Matt and it's his grandma and mom on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
That gets a little. Get that. Go check out Suit Yourself's automated series. You'll know what I'm talking about. It's hilarious. But no, B. Think about the current state of the internet, especially you're in the UK, right? Like, do you have any freedom left at all?
Honestly, like, things are a little bit harder when stealing memes and gifts and things like that, but there are workarounds for it, so not really. There's like no difference.
Well, what do you mean there's no difference though? Like Article 11 and Article what? I believe
Article 13, right?
My bad. Unlucky number 13. I should have known. But those have gone into effect, and you've yet to leave the EU. You guys are still a member state of the European Union. So you have to these articles, don't you?
They haven't affected me in my day-to-day life. So if they have come into effect, I haven't noticed.
Well, isn't that the scary part, though, is that they'll come into effect and then it'll be a slow trickle until finally you notice, wait a minute, I can't even cite a news source anymore. You know what I mean? I mean, the shit will get out of hand rather quickly and under the radar at that for that matter.
Well, I guess I'll let you know when it finally hits me, because there's fuck what I can do about it, right?
Fair enough. Voice of One, are you here, man, or are you just lurking? What's going on, man?
Oh, I'm here, old boy. I'm just listening to the conversation.
Okay, well, I know your ideas on the current state of, I don't know, Star Trek being higher, but the current state of the internet itself. What's your views on that, Voice? I haven't heard you actually speak up.
Well, apparently you, being one of my subscribers, never watched today's fucking video, did you?
Actually, I did. No, that 3-minute video or whatever. I did watch that, you asshole, and I watched the other one you put out. So fuck you. I got you.
I
on
did
this
not watch your video, Voice. I apologize. It sounded like somebody was complaining about something and the video didn't seem to interest me.
You know, this is why memes you get told to shut the fuck up every 2 days.
Apparently there's a shirt.
There is?
There is. Check out the merch store. Yeah, check out MADDS Productions over on Streamlabs. We got merch. And you want to tell memes to shut up? Go ahead, buy your own cabbie shirt. Say "Shut up, memes."
Hey, Mad, you know what? Cup you.
Oh, yeah, go cup yourself, motherfucker.
Oh dear God, that seems like the silliest like first grade insult that there could be, but it seems so offensive, but it isn't. That's probably why I love it.
I know, right? Just wait till next year, dude. They'll be banning that too. It is what it is, man. The Nazi penguins are everywhere.
Oh God, oh God, even MC referenced it earlier. Oh jeez, this is how memes are created, man. It starts off very small, starts off as a stone, and you never know, man. Sometimes that just grows into a mountain. And I think this is what a lot of the major players they kind of fear, because like if you get like a PewDiePie and stuff, I actually noticed because I went back to watch his yesterday, or at least listen to his yesterday video, because when it originally came up, it said, "Yes, I am a gamer." I think YouTube made him change the title.
Oh, here's the thing, though, memes. I'm looking here at the chat. Creepy little book says SJWs are on the outs. Big corporations are starting to realize this bullshit is losing them money. Hence the layoffs at BuzzFeed and HuffPo, respectively. Let's talk about that. We're winning the culture war, aren't we, brother? And like by we, I mean you're not one of us, but you know we let you join the clubhouse every once in a while, right, memes? Like we let you come in and
wait a second. Oh, well, hey, wait a second. Am I just the token left guy?
I didn't say that. Did somebody else say that?
Oh, no. This is the internet. I feel like I'm supposed to be offended about something. It's like, well, yeah, you're just the token left guy here. It's like, yeah, we're just going to kind of rail against you, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, I'm getting sick and tired of people telling me who I can and cannot be friends with. If somebody wants to be friends with Richard Spencer or frickin' Minister Farrakhan, that's up to them. What they say and what they believe does not necessarily fully translate out. If other people are conducting similar things with them, yes. Will you get a small amount of stigma or just have a generalized association? Yes. But should that necessarily encompass you all and all of a sudden make you tainted for some reason? Because as long as ain't somebody promoting violence and shit, if you're not breaking the law, it really shouldn't matter. Because I remember, dude, I fell for this shit back in the day because I had like two friends and they kind of look similar, you know, when you're going through that awkward, like kind of early middle school day, everyone has like the bowl haircut and all that jazz. And I'm just kind of like, I literally went up to one kid and I'm like, "You're not so-and-so, you're the other kid, right?" Because all of a sudden it's like, oh, I don't want to be associated with this kid because other folks are like, oh, well, he's not cool. And by association, it's like, fuck that shit. I did that shit, so therefore you have cooties. It's like, if we're going to live in a world where adults are going to be children, if we need to treat people like children, this is why I'm a pretty big proponent of the game of life, aka Cards for Humanity. Basically, if somebody wants to play a card and everybody knows they're playing a card, let's make a beautiful deck of cards. We can make them, get them like a high gloss finish and stuff like that, and we can buy them in bulk because I still have 9,900.
You got the Costco card, motherfucker. I hear you. Yeah, you got the Costco.
Oh, gutprint.net, man.
Thing though, memes. Yeah. You could yell and rage about guilt by association all fucking day long. But if I'm sitting here talking to you, and then at the same time I'm talking to your fucking worst enemy, association does fucking matter, dude.
Well, man, I've been listening to a lot of Professor Peterson, and again, I need to re-up and finish the second half of Maps of Meaning. But he literally paints it out, and that's kind of going back to the Jungian archetypes and stuff, because it's like, yes, there is a patriarchy, but if one's looking at a patriarchy, yeah, it could be the tyrannical king, but at the same freaking time, it has the potential to be the benevolent king, protector, the bringer of order, and all that stuff there. So it goes back to like the yin and the yang. It's like,
well, the bringer of order, but what if I like chaos memes? What if
well,
I
that's
anarchy?
where that's where he goes into the tyrannical
friend?
mother, the bringer of chaos, but also the giver of life.
Oh, and rebirth and new beginnings, right? So for one age to end and another to begin, there needs to be some catastrophe, some drives that into being, right? Necessarily, the information age is dying and something else is being born.
I think you might be seeing a little bit of a classical reemergence of things. And actually, just real quick, I just want to touch upon something that Tyro said over in the chat there, is because he says a perfectly objective, rational person is the ideal human. It's emotions where our barbarism lies. And
that's the ideal Vulcan. Like, don't fuck with me.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, yeah, personally rational, objective person. It's like, well, at that point, isn't that just an AI? Because as human beings,
isn't humanity ruled by our emotions? Aren't we ruled by the input we take in and the output we put out? If that makes any sense. Like, okay.
Oh no, I was going to say, man, is just as human beings, I think it's our ability to actually overcome things. Because yeah, while we might get emotion, when we are focused on a task, like World War II, dude, if you're thinking that the freaking Nazis are going to take over the world, that's how you have things like the Manhattan Project come about. That's why you have people dedicate, also gals over there. But yeah, people fill up and do what is needed for survival. It's like, you don't worry about like all these other things there. It's like when you're fighting to survive, like that is humanity. Be able to just fight for survival because we're perfectly imperfect creatures. But when we come together, there's pretty much almost nothing we can't overcome.
No, and here's the thing. I'm looking over at the chat as well. We got Common Sense guy up in there. What's up, man? Let me scroll up here because the chat's actually going a little quick. Hi, all. Do you honestly think the culture war is being won by a couple of people being let go? That's a no, Mad. One? Nah, it's not one. But have you seen the shift? Because I see the shift. I see people like Tim Pool, who were very, very leftist orientated, now shifting. And it's interesting, too, because it's not like my shift towards the right, where I am a right-leaning libertarian. Hey, don't drone me, bro. Also, get your hands off my fucking plants. Again, I also want to keep my guns, and if you break in my house, I'm going to blow your head off. It is what it is, right? I mean, humans are complicated. We have different positions on different issues.
Ooh, I'm hearing a little Tim Pool version. It's like that's why I say it's everyone influences everybody, and this is one of the things that does frighten me. And actually, oh my God, speak of the devil and he shall appear. MC, I was just thinking about it. You and getting ready to speak, but
MC.
No, this is one of the things that
you said Tim Pool, and of course that would trigger MC.
Oh, it's like Beetlejuice for catch. Gotcha. But yeah, no, here's the thing. The very potential sheer fact that we could actually see like a second civil war in the United States. And that terrifies the hell out of me. And that's why, like, when MC is saying that, yeah, where are folks calling out violence and shit like that? Like, I think this is why you're starting to see certain folk that they see what's going on and they just, because you could say crazy shit, whatever the hell you want, because politicians have said stupid shit and we all have for a long time. But when you actually enact violence to not say that, like even with the Covington kids, it's like folks are calling for violence against children. I may not know what is right, but I know what is wrong. And that's the end of my rant.
Okay, well, no, fair enough. And MC, I saw you in the chat right before you jumped in here. You said Tim Pool has not shifted. Elaborate on that, my friend.
Well, he's playing a duplicitous game. He's delusional. Gotten himself out of the delusion that he lives in. Seems that he has principles. In fact, he was doing that today. Well, I stand by our principles. What principles? What principles does he have? Speech absolutism, because then he would never vote for a Democrat. Time one of his principles comes up, he comes up with an excuse of why he's going to wave away one of his principles. He doesn't prioritize principles. Okay, if you're going to sit up there and say that you have principles, then you have to stick with them even when they don't go in your favor.
Right, MC. No,
forget how you feel about a specific situation, and no, understand this.
And here,
right? If you think,
here's the
for example,
real quick, it's like me arguing with you about drone strikes. You might be winning the argument. The whole chat might be railing against me. Do I back down though? No. I stand my ground. I dig my heels in, and I fight for what I think is right.
And what you're fighting for is emotion.
Well, it's a moral.
You haven't given me a principle that you don't like. You against drone strikes, all right? Give me a principle, the principle that you're standing on, not your emotions.
Oh,
strikes. Okay, you still don't like drone strikes. Great, but what are you standing on? What principle are you standing on? I don't like me, I, how I feel.
Well, no, it's not necessarily feelings when it's talking about, drone strikes and the idea of blowback. That's a little bit different. But when you're
nonsense, and I've already demonstrated repeatedly that this whole concept of blowback is based on what? It's based on how you feel, they feel. And place your emotions over a cultural identity, all right, that you don't know anything about. Does empathy exist?
War in Afghanistan.
We're not talking about empathy here. This has nothing to do with being empathetic. Empathy is personal. Empathy isn't somebody else.
The fact remains, if somebody was drone striking and trying to hit a fucking quote-unquote domestic terrorist and they accidentally hit the school bus with my children on it, you know what? I might maybe lean a little anti-goddamn government. You know what I'm fucking saying?
Well, if that happens, that is all right. Now, first of all, that's not the situation with Ruby Ridge.
I know. I'm just building that up because we're gonna hit that topic next week. So
that has nothing to do with Ruby Ridge. All right. And it has nothing to do with all this other bullshit that's overplayed in the media and hyped up to pull on your freaking heartstrings. Standing on principle.
Engaged.
Well, but that's all it is. Engage them with emotion. Rabble-rouse with emotion. Throw freaking intellect and discernment out the window. Activity out the window.
Still exists. We have stories and pictures and some facts.
No,
and then the stories and the pictures are designed to prevent you from accessing freaking your intellect.
Digressing here, though. Let's wrap this back around to the subject at hand, which is the current state of the internet and the culture war that is being raged right now as we're doing it right now. The culture war is being waged. Do you think Tim Pool? Why do you think he hasn't shifted? Because I see a shift.
Shift
in his channel, dude. I watch him every day like you do. I see a change.
You see a change in what? Some verbiage? Action.
His ideas.
Show me what he does is different. He is not doing anything differently. He's still constantly pats himself on the back of, here are my liberal credentials. He still considers himself a liberal. He does not analyze any of his policies. He does not come back and go, wait a minute here, I was wrong.
I think he may have acknowledged at some points. Hey, Tyro.
Yeah. What's up, Tyro? Yep.
Not on a personal level.
And guys, green room right above the podcast room, because that's where the green room should be. I'm going to do that and mute myself. But welcome to the show, Tyro. I'm guessing you have something to say. What's up?
It's the current state of the internet. There's a bit of lag on the chat, so I didn't heard you also mention.
Okay, MC, say your own position. I don't want to put words in your mouth, sir. Go ahead.
Blowback is overstated. It's overstated to drive home people to get in the Middle East like we had been, all right, especially in Iran. And this is after the Ayatollah Khomeini, all right, had taken over, where we went in repeatedly helping people when they had their earthquakes, and all of the extra help that we've given the Palestinians, and all the extra help that we've gone down this line. And yet somehow, I mean, for crying out loud, we were supporting them, all right, in Afghanistan. And what did they do?
Well, hold on. Okay, so you're mentioning Iran. Yes, within the Iranian middle class, America is actually revered. The average Iranian middle class person sees America as an ideal to aspire to. They are not our enemy. They still want. That's why you have the Green Revolution that Obama scuttled because he supports the Ayatollahs. He's getting money from them. But you had that Green Revolution was actually something they were hoping America would help them on to overthrow the Ayatollahs. Yes, so you are correct. There is a compassion thing. Now with the Palestinians, it's a little trickier because Hamas runs pretty heavy interference on that. So what Hamas does is they take our foreign aid over there, steal it, make sure it doesn't go where it needs to go, and then parcel it out for like the suicide bomber money. And then they act like America is the enemy. So with Hamas, that's just because their propaganda machine, the Saudi-fueled propaganda machine, is very strong over there. But with Iran, no, there is actually the companion to blowback, which is compassion.
But you don't see it in their actions.
The Green Revolution, man.
Dude.
They protested against the Ayatollah. They wanted to overthrow the government. Unfortunately, we failed to help them in their time of need.
I understand that, and I'm not going to deny that that's an aspect of it. But the reality is that when we went into Iraq, what did the Iranians do? They went on the attack. What have the Iranians been doing?
I think you're conflating the people of Iran with their government.
Whether you like it or not, the government exists because the people put it in there.
That part is true, and now there's buyer's remorse. And plus you have the new generation, the people who didn't put it in there, who do not want it.
How many attacks do we have to suffer through before they say, well, we'll give into this? Because I don't see it happening.
Well, the good news is the law of economic, as their economic situation improves, tyranny becomes less tenable as the middle class grows. And so as China is in there building them up with like the oil companies, giving them jobs and trade and stuff, eventually it will collapse. Theocracy is unsustainable in the face of economic reality. That's why China has those.
Why do you think theocracies are unsustainable? Historically, theocracies have been quite sustainable, even during times of heavy wealth.
But not with distributed wealth. Now, when the theocracy can control the money and control the wealth through state-owned enterprise, that's why
I can see your point, but the reality is we don't know about that yet because we don't have enough of a palette of what we've seen. I'm trying to think what's the word. There's not enough out there to sit up there and make that kind of a determination. It's an assumption, all right, and it's a hopeful assumption. That's fine. All right, but we don't have any real world consequences over a long period of time to say, yeah, that's what happens.
I don't know. I mean, the 20th century did have.
Real quick, what about real world consequences where they're actually going out in the form of fucking dancing on the street and shit? Women are in Iran and they're getting arrested and lambasted by it, but they're still doing it anyway. There is a uprise within Iranian culture itself.
There is an uprising in the Iranian culture. I'm not going to, because it's a natural consequence of fighting against any kind of oppression. No matter what kind of oppression, what kind of dictatorship that you end up with, you're always going to be oppressing someone or some minority. That's how all of it exists on. And I apologize because my voice, as you can hear, is horrible with this chest cold. I apologize.
No, I totally understand. Yeah, there's stuff going around. It's mix of flu and others.
I kind of blame Solfaing. No, it's a joke. I was in Atlanta, but no. No, I understand what you're saying, but I don't think there's enough of a palette to sit there and make that kind of claim.
All right. I mean, I guess maybe we just disagree on.
We got Joshua saying the Indian abortion bill is one thing we talked about when it comes to the culture war. That is, the abortion bill. You have New York. Pete from Creepy Little Book. I think he's still in the chat. We were talking about this last night. I mean, the shit's getting ridiculous, dude. Third term abortions.
Oh, not just third term abortion, after birth abortion. That's the part that's got me going, whoa, what the hell?
Fourth term trimester.
You can't.
Fourth trimester abortions.
Yeah, basically. Because in biology class, I was a biology major in college. I think I've disclosed this publicly on stream, but whatever. Biology is one of my majors, and so one of the things in the ethics class for like doing studies and stuff, they teach you there's a hard line difference when it's in the womb. Before it's born, it's fetus. Now, you can debate the whole abortion thing when it's in the womb, fetus, blah, blah, blah. You know, that's a separate argument. But once it is born, after it exits the woman, it is not a fetus. It's a baby. It's a human. And there is a world of difference between dealing with a fetus with science studies and dealing with a baby with science studies. Like, once it is born, you don't mess with that. That is a human. And them trying to say that you can have the woman give birth and then abort it after the fact is one of the biggest violation of medical ethics I've heard from a politician in a long time. And V, unfortunately, what I'm seeing too, V had a video came out earlier today. Apparently, some of this is from the academia. You have medical ethics journals now rewriting the definitions of what life is just to justify this after the fact. When before, just not even a decade ago, it was unconscionable to abort a born baby. You don't do that. That is a gigantic red line, and I cannot believe that doctors are
even called. Wait, since when is that even called abortion? No, like, God damn it, Irate Prostate's in the chat. What's up, Irate? Everybody, after the Redeye gets over, go check him out. He's got an interview coming out tonight. I believe right after we go off air, Irate's gonna be fucking kicking it off. So go check him out, guys. But he says Casey Anthony was ahead of her time.
Yeah, basically, that's what they're pushing for too.
Yeah.
Wait, Tyro, you're not saying that they're going back and rewriting definitions for potential future legal challenges?
Yeah, quite possibly. Yeah. Well, more in the case of it's not legal stuff; it's medical ethics. The medical ethics journals are now rewriting the definitions to allow for this, because the old ethics rules, what I learned as a student when learning about clinical trials, what the rules were in terms of handling infants, is you can't do this you can't murder a kid once they come out of the womb. You can't abort it. That's murder. But they're now rewriting the rules to allow for that, to say that, oh, no, there's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with aborting them right after birth. It's okay. There's really no difference between a baby in the third trimester inside the womb and after they've immediately been born. That's what they're trying to change the rules to say, to make it okay. They're retroactively making it okay. And that is, I mean, that's eugenics. That is the foundation for eugenics.
When Pete and I were talking about this last night, I'm like, you know what? I got a 13-year-old. He's going through puberty. He's kind of being a dick. Maybe I want to abort him. Where's the line? Where are you going to draw the motherfucking line?
Yeah. Another part.
Drown your babies in a goddamn bathtub there, Casey Anthony? Is that all right? I mean, where is the motherfucking line, dude?
There is no line.
Casey Anthony's kids were found in a freaking trash heap. Tape on their mouths.
Yeah. That's what we're getting.
Everything else, I get it, dude. I was being hyperbolic. My apologies.
The sheer fact that Tyro had to say you can't murder kids. The sheer fact that somebody that was actually in academia, in biology, has to say that, like, where are we at?
You act like that's new.
Yeah, sure.
You act like the academics haven't been saying this crap for decades, because they have. You could take a look at Princeton's #1 ethicist, what he was freaking advocating on 10 years ago. The difference now is it's in the political discourse, and there are a group of people who are pushing it.
Yeah, it's gotten bigger than it used to be. I mean, we were always aware of those people, but we always kind of treat them as a fringe element back in the day. It looks like those people found a way to get in charge of both the academic sphere and now political.
Here's what it's going to take for the culture, for us to win the culture war. People that are willing to and become morally fearless. In that. Culturally, overall, you see people that are still moral cowards.
I don't think so, MC. I think
That's
it's
why
wrong.
Tim Pool is one of them.
I think that's where we wrap back around here to the internet war and the current state of the internet. You're seeing the people like, come on, man. Dude, you would call me a leftist more times than not, right, MC? But when it comes to abortion, dude, the line is fucking there in the sand, and no.
I understand. I appreciate that from you. And you're not as left as Tim Pool. Made the same comment about how ridiculous this was, and yet, you know what? When it comes right down to it, he'll still vote for those people. He'll still carry the water for those people.
He says he usually doesn't vote, which, I mean, I have my own words that I might say towards that potentially. But
he's flat out said, "Oh, I'm a hard person to vote to get," and yet what's he done? Voted straight down the Democrat party line. Unless once in a while he slipped over to a green.
What state does Tim Pool live in? Do we know? Has he released that info publicly?
He's a Jersey dude right now, and you know what? Hey, as long as you're voting there, as long as somebody's willing to vote and at least try to put in a decent effort. Again, yeah, MC, I'd say we should have a more informed electorate, and I would like to see a higher percentage of folks.
Who did he vote for? Who did he say he voted for Senate in this last election?
No, I have no clue.
I don't know.
Menendez. Okay.
Oh, good Lord.
Bob Menendez, a freaking pedophile, all right, who was sitting up there done all sorts of things. This is where his true principles lie.
He's a Bernie bro, right, MC? Pool Bernie bro.
I think debating Tim Pool's politics, though, is really narrowing the scope of this discussion a lot. Not narrower than we ought to, though. I think we can agree Tim Pool's a lefty, and he's also somewhat of a hypocrite. Even though I like some of the stuff he says, he is a bit of a hypocrite. I think MC has a very good point on that.
My problem isn't specifically about Tim Pool, though. My issue, what I'm trying to point out, rather, is not. In order for you to change the dynamic, in order for us to start winning the culture war, all right, these kind of people like Tim Pool have to start changing completely. Point to H.A. Goodman and say, well, we got H.A. Goodman. He's changed. I hear too much backsliding from him.
I actually take a slight issue with that, MC, and the reason why I say that is, number one, when you say we have, you're just turning into just a straight us versus them. You're turning it into
it isn't us versus them.
Okay, well,
versus them of where we are in this ideological struggle. How are you going to change anything else? And the us versus them are the people who live in reality versus the people who are delusional.
Well, MC, you asked for certain folks to act as a form of moral arbiter. I'll raise you AOC. You can disagree with what the gal says, but she is standing on principle. She's the only person that voted against
principle does she stand on memes?
You'd have to ask her.
No, memes. I will.
You claim, you made the assertion. Hold on a second. You made the assertion here, memes, that she stands on principles. Okay, what are they?
She said she voted against funding ICE. She voted against funding ICE.
What does that have to? That's not a principle. That's a stand. Give me her principle.
She's fighting.
Cortez is being nailed by her own.
That is a policy. That is not a principle.
Hold on.
You'd have to ask her.
Bueller. Okay. Okay. Cortez is being lambasted by her own goddamn fucking party at this point. But I'll take your AOC and I'll raise you a John Stossel. Somebody who started off a Democrat, switched his fucking ideals, is now one of the most staunchest libertarians that I've fucking ever seen, other than what, George Andrew Napolitano?
Well, hold on. And what's interesting too about that backstory on Stossel is the reason he became libertarian is he started out applying a method of skepticism to large corporations. So he started as a consumer reporter. And so what he did is he took that theory of skepticism of, hey, take it with a grain of salt, dig into this, check for corruption and abuse, and he started applying to the government. And what he said, what opened his eyes is when he found that the government was far worse at abusing its customers, quote unquote, i.e., the people, than the corporations were. And also what woke him up was when he saw that the media reaction to him looking at the government the same way he looked at corruption in the companies was way worse. It's like, oh, no, you can't look at corruption in the government. You can only look at corruption in the businesses. Only businesses can be the enemy, not the government. The government's the good guy. And that's what brought him over to libertarian side. It's like, oh, wait a minute here. Okay, this is a blind spot here with the Democrats, and I want to dig further into this. So his principle was skepticism, looking into doing what's right, and that's what led him into libertarianism, was that principle. So yeah, Salsa's principle, I would agree with MC that AOC is not principled. I think she has a lot of empty thoughts rattling around in her head, and she just repeats them per a given cue. That's why she contradicts herself. That's why she just says some weird, inane things. Is because she's not a thinking being. She's just a something people poured into. She's a product of the modern education system, easily.
Was John Stossel the one that bought a golf cart with the electric tax credit?
Yep, that's him.
Okay, I remember that. That seemed like a very...
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. When you go down into the libertarian trenches, all right, I am more Mises Institute than I am Cato. All right?
Same here.
And reason is more Cato than they are Mises. It's just the way it is. We have our own dividing lines. We know where we stand. There's the leftitarians, and then there's us that are right. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah, well... Yeah, and you also have unfortunately, the lefty ones are the one in charge of the Libertarian Party. Oh, God, I'm so disappointed in those guys. That's why I say I'm libertarian, but I'm not part of the party because, God, they don't have their act together. Apparently, the current president or like a couple of the execs are actually Antifa people who managed to infiltrate somehow.
Well, first off, Nicholas Sarwick, he go fuck himself, dude. And that's from somebody who I got hit up by the Libertarian Party of Oregon saying, hey, run. Everybody up. But whatever. That was when I opened that piece of mail. That was kind of a proud moment, right? Told by my party, hey, you should run.
Did you personally take them up on the offer?
No. And you know why? Because Nicholas Sarwick. Sorry, get that fucking car salesman out of here, dude. We don't want him around no more. Fuck you. And the horse he rode in on. Get out of here.
Well, given if the party is reaching out to you, I mean, isn't that what we're talking about? If we don't like the folks that are representing us, we either need to find people that are willing or potentially even do it ourselves, right?
Oh, and that's a fair point. I did talk about it with my wife, and she said it was a bad idea to run this last election. If I get that again, I might do it, you know. But yeah, I consulted my family, and it wasn't the time. You know, I'm not rich. I can't just, you know, pick up and be like, hey, I'm going to run for office.
So hold on a second. Could somebody clarify something for me? Because I heard something. If one was to look to run a political campaign, you can't use like GoFundMe or Kickstarter or something, right?
I'm not sure what GoFundMe's rule. Kickstarter, no. Indiegogo, no, because those are more for projects. I think political campaigns are specifically excluded. GoFundMe, maybe. I'd have to check. Patreon, I think you can use, though, so long as you're a lefty.
Well, I mean, that potential perspective and issue aside, but if Citizens United helped in some instances defining money as speech, if you can have large corporations and organizations more or less anonymously until the next quarterly filing donate more or less unlimited campaign funds to an individual, but an individual can't use established crowdfunding sources to show directly where their money's
that is not what Citizens United said. It's not what the ruling said.
I realize it doesn't specifically say that, but in some instances, money is equated to speech in order to justify.
It is. They did. The Supreme Court has ruled that. What they were saying, though, is that if you have an organization, Citizens United, they can put out whatever political commercials they want, and you can't do anything about it.
Well, isn't that the reason why the politicians say this is endorsed by insert fucking douchebag name here, right? I mean,
that's why they said nobody's endorsed this, and why they have campaigns where they said this was funded by XYZ, but it doesn't have the candidate's name directly placed inside of it.
Well, doesn't it come down to a disclosure issue? Because, like, as long as you're forthright and you have proper disclaimers, I think you can actually get away with pretty much a lot of stuff. Because I think this is how Mr. JF Garapi, like, he has a lot of controversial figures on, but yet he's still indoors on the public.
Okay, but here's where you run into the problem.
Dude, if you actually read his disclaimer, he straight up says, he's like, none of these things. He's like, this is a place for discussing ideas we're willing to entertain. Nothing said on here does not necessarily.
Here's where you run into a problem. Who's the biggest pile of money?
And this is why we should have some principles.
And the biggest pile of money is in government, right? Yeah. And who gets to determine whether or not someone is violating campaign finance laws or not?
Isn't that the House Oversight Committee? Or that's for current?
No, first off, yeah, matter at all. You got people like
it matters because you have the foxes checking the hen house. You have everyone complains about, everyone keeps bringing up this Citizens United about the money in politics, but if you wanted money in politics, then you got to get money out of the government.
But here's the thing, though. You have people like Ross Perot, the only person that was a viable third-party candidate in the last decade.
He also was at a net worth of $1
billion.
Was
that MADDS? How old were you when Ross Perot ran?
Oh shit, dude! I was born in '84, so what, like 9, 10? Or
wait, you're younger than me, Mad Dodge? God, I always thought you were older than me.
Yeah, I'm 34 years old now.
Man, you youngin'.
So this was 92. You were born in '84. How old were you?
He was 8.
8. I was 8 years old. Actually, I was moving from California to Oregon. Yeah. So old, motherfucker.
Yeah. All right. Are things different from when you were 8?
No.
I would say yes.
No.
MC, no. Things are different. I do.
They are the same politically. That the political landscape is so fucking crowded with bullshit. That is the same.
Who was the president in 1988? Who was the president?
Bush.
Reagan. 88.
Well,
wait. What was Reagan?
Prior to being president, Republican, kind of a libertarian.
To that, in politics, what was it?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Bush was 8. Oh, sorry, yeah, I'm getting my time mixed up. But yeah, like I always think of Bush as 88 to 92. Anyway.
Go ahead. See, yeah, like what were you gonna say? Go ahead, because I would say
he was the governor of California.
A wolf.
You're saying nothing's changed. California. Could Reagan become the governor of California today?
With Jerry Brown in the way.
Jerry Brown had been governor before.
No, there's no way Reagan could be governor now. They've gotten too good at ballot stuffing like they did in Orange County. There's no way a Republican will win a governor's race now. They have too much voter fraud now.
Here's the difference that I see. Let me just get this in real quick, Matt. But you want to know what the difference is, MC? I do think a lot of the polarization, or at least the extreme feeling of polarization, is a lot stronger. Because I remember at the end of one of those debates with Clinton and Dole, I'm thinking of the night. Did he run in '96 too?
Who ran in '96?
Okay, because I remember after one of the debates, he's like, he was up in front of everyone. He said, "If you don't like what you see here, you got 2 other fine choices." He patted both candidates on the back.
I think that's a stupid debate tactic. I would never do that if I was debating MC to be president. There's no way I'd give him an inch of ground. That's a dumb move.
It is also an effective sale pitch in the right circumstance. You can argue saying he was never fully.
I'm looking at the chat here. Prostate says Perot ensured that President Dole never happened. Bob Dole. Bob Dole. Bob Dole. Okay. Dole had some good ideas. He is more of a staunch constitutionalist, right? I mean, that was kind of where he threw his money down on the table, so to speak.
Yeah, Bob Dole was a good man. I mean, he has classic character. If you look at how it behaved during George Bush's funeral, for example, he's a class act. I've got a lot of respect for the dude. I don't always agree with him. I think he's a little soft. Like I don't think he's as conservative as others in the Republican Party. I mean, no one would say that he's a firebrand for conservatism, but he is a good man.
Is he more of like a Patrick Buchanan type character?
Oh God, nowhere close. No. Buchanan is much more right leaning than Dole. Dole was more of a centrist, if I remember.
Well, the problem with Dole is that he wasn't a small government guy.
Yeah, he's more of a Rockefeller Republican.
He's not as rhino as say or Lindsey Graham. Okay.
Oh God, I was thinking Lindsey Graham MC. Thank you, dude. We've been hanging out too much. I mean, I know we're good friends, but damn, Lindsey Graham popped in my head, and then you said it, so I just had to throw that out there. Damn it.
Yeah, but he's not a Lindsey Graham. But at the same time, he wasn't. Like you said, he wasn't a firebrand. He wasn't someone. The problem with a lot of these guys is they don't know how to talk conservatism, to explain conservatism. What did Reagan do when he came in there? He explained conservatism. How did he explain it? It was very simple. Slogan: government isn't the answer. Government is the problem.
No, and wasn't Reagan the one
quote unquote shrink government?
Wasn't Reagan the one that said the three most feared words in the English language, or whatever, the most feared phrase is I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
I'm here to help. Yes.
Words,
here's
whatever.
the thing. Reagan was a good salesman. That's the thing. And the thing that gets me is a lot of folks that are of more of a leftish, liberalish nature, they often are not the greatest of salespeople. And a lot of times
they don't have to be. What are you talking about? They're the greatest salesmen there is. They go after you to draw your heartstrings and emote everything, and then they have the mainstream media that hides all their malfeasance. What are you talking about, me?
But you're using fear as a sales tactic, and that's not a good long-term tactic.
Oh, it's not a good long-term tactic?
Well, I mean, it's been effective, but I mean, again,
how many decades has it been effective?
Well, you should actually have some principles about shit.
Once again, there it goes back to what I said at the beginning. The leftists don't have principles, do they? They have emotion.
I agree. So I would argue that there's an old school Democrat like Jim Webb, for example. I would say that Jim Webb probably has some principles. He's a centrist, even slightly right leaning Democrat. He is. And he got like blown out in 2016.
What did your Jim Webb, and I believe he is one of the current senators from Virginia, correct?
No, I don't think he's in office anymore. I think he left.
And when did he leave?
I don't remember. Hold on. But I remember he served under Reagan. He was the Secretary of the Navy under Reagan. That was one of his big claims to fame.
Right.
But here's the thing, though. The Democrats can't run somebody like O'Donnell, even, which is the only Democrat I even saw viable. I was going to vote Libertarian the whole goddamn time. I mean, yeah, Gary was Aleppo Johnson, whatever. I voted for him. That's the box I checked, all right? It is what it is, man.
Okay, so Jim Webb
I'm going to be voting Trump. I'm probably going to write myself in for president. Mad Dodge 2020, everybody. We're doing this.
All right, Mad Dodge 2020. Awesome. Jim Webb was senator for one term, 2007 to 2013. Tim Kaine took over his spot.
Okay.
But he's the guy who beat George Allen in the 2008 there. I think I remember that was the one with the macaca thing, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, anyway, but what I was saying is like old school Democrats, like the blue dog Democrats. You know, my grandparents were Democrats. They were working class Democrats. They had principles. You know, things like they saw the Democrat Party as oh, that's the party that wants to help the little guy that stands up, blah blah. I mean, obviously it was all a lie, but they had some principles. I think the new wave of Democrats, the new wave of crazy progressive like AOC, like Kamala Harris, like some of these, and along with some of the old, the crazy '60s hippie Democrats like Brown, for example. Yes, they don't have principles. All they have is a reactionary hatred to anything traditional, a hatred of anything that favors, straight white males. That's all they've got. They've just got a bunch of emotional reactions. They don't have anything they're standing on. That's why they go with the wind. That's why under Obama, oh, a border wall is great. Oh, expanded national security is great because Obama's doing it. It's fine. Trump tries to do the same thing and they scream bloody murder, saying, oh, no, now it's all evil. That they don't have principles. They shift depending on who's in charge and whether it's part of their team or not. It's all about who's on their side and are they doing it. Whereas if you look at the right, if Trump were to say, "Hey, I'm going to start passing measures to spy on everybody and break down encryption and expand the deep state here," I think a lot of his supporters would be like, "Whoa, hold on there, dude, that's not cool."
That's all true, but the thing is the principled Democrats that you're talking about, the last one left when Monahan left.
I agree. I generally agree.
And that's how that MADDS, I don't think was alive when Monahan left.
I don't know who that is.
Maybe he was 3 or 4. Right. Monahan was one of the Democrat Speaker of the House for a long time.
Yeah.
And one of his concerns, one of his warnings, was that they were dumbing deviancy down.
Yep. Well, I mean, another good example.
What did Bill Clinton do? He dumbed it down more and more and more. Now all you see is deviancy. I know where everybody wants to win this culture war. I know people say, "Wait a minute, we gotta turn back." I don't see us turning back because I do not see people who are stepping back and taking a look at themselves. Where am I not principled? Where am I missing this?
Well, doesn't this come down to more of just kind of like speaking the truth and just being honest and straight up?
Let's speak your truth to yourself.
Wait.
Just with yourself. If you're living in a delusional world and you can't face your own delusions, how are you going to fix somebody else's?
I think that's one of the issues. And MC, I understand you normally, and I think you are actually you don't really care about what somebody personally does and everything, but that's where a lot of the angst against more rightish folks comes from, for many on the left.
What it comes from is their lack of moral fortitude. I feel this way. All right, hold on. And then they would mix in saying, here's what the principle is, to obfuscate what the real principles were when they were arguing these issues.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. I think where memes is coming from here is he's saying, hey, when you think of the left, you think you want to police my fucking activity in public, right? That's what the Democrats are all about, stopping you from doing what you want to do online. Like, how dare you be a bully or say a bad fucking word? When you think of the right, you think of, you want to police my bedroom.
Because it was framed that way.
Another woman, then you want to fucking.
And instead of having the discussion, it was framed that way intentionally by the left. All right, to obfuscate what the real issues were.
So conservatives don't want to police my bedroom, is what you're telling me, right?
When are they policing your bedroom? How are they stopping you from doing anything in your bedroom?
They had the mimetic of being the party that didn't want a man and a man or a woman and a woman to be able to have the title of actually being married.
Okay, now that has nothing to do with being the title of being married. Has absolutely nothing to do with what goes on in a bedroom. This is how they shifted it. It had nothing to do with a private life. They convinced everybody that it was all tied into this, and then they said, those are the people who are trying to invade your bedroom. Those are the people that are trying to keep the bushes out of my womb.
Like there actually were issues.
Right.
No, hold on.
Well, similar
there are issues.
Yeah.
There are issues, but you didn't discuss them. Marriage has nothing to do with what goes on in the bedroom, does it? Yeah, you brought it up.
It's a good.
Well, no. I brought it up. It was me that brought it up.
No. Memes is the one who brought it up in this regard. Did the issue of what it actually was to something that it wasn't, all right, and everyone felt their way rather than taking a look at what the principles involved were. The discussion. You did not have a debate on those principles.
Well, hold on. MC, I think you're getting a little bit close to ad hominem here because you keep saying you. It's like you're accusing memes of being a liberal agent here. I think
he's a liberal.
I think what you mean is that the liberals were feeling their way out. Memes is not necessarily a liberal here. And I think you can understand that if someone thinking back could have been subjected to bias on an issue, they might repeat that. I think it's okay, like, don't accuse them of being an agent for it.
No.
But they were used that one. Well, they were an agent for it.
I'm going to let you roll on, but Tyra, we blame memes for everything. It's kind of what we do on the Redeye, so don't worry about it.
Okay. All right.
I can accept the moniker of the token left guy.
Oh, okay. All right. So it's all meme salt. Got it. All right. I'll go with that. Sorry.
Excuse me. I'm going to have to drop off for a second. Just hang on.
Okay, I did want to pick up on another point MC made in terms of Monahan leaving and stuff. Another transition you can also point to the coarsening of the left. The left has gotten progressively worse. Pun. So in Texas, we had Barbara Walters. Barbara Walters was a Democrat. She was from Houston in the House of Representatives. She was a pretty good woman. She was a Democrat, but she had principles. She stood her ground, made a lot of very reasonable arguments. My dad, who's a Goldwater Republican, he didn't always agree with her, but he respected her because she was a respectful person. So when she left, when she retired her position, who took it over? Sheila Jackson Lee. And Sheila Jackson Lee is not respectful at all. She's a mad woman. She's absolutely crazy. Her own staff lives in fear of her. I mean, the woman is just a big old bundle of crazy. And that's very indicative of how the Democrats have been devolving over the decades here. You get a stand-up statesman like Barbara Walters. I might be misstating her name. Barbara Walters. Anyway, replaced by Sheila Jackson Lee.
Real quick. All right. So who right now is representing the House in the respectable Ron Paul's absence? Now that he left, he didn't run again. He's retired. He's old. He's out of it. Libertarian leaning representative from that district now, is there? Flop to Democrat, or did it go straight Republican? Because there's no libertarian there. I'm asking you, Cairo, because you said you're from Texas, and I'm just curious because I don't know. Like, I'm actually.
I don't know either. I don't know who took over Ron Paul's seat. I do know that in terms of who is the spiritual successor to Ron Paul, there are two. You have Justin Amash and Thomas Massey. Those two are now seen as carrying on.
That's my dream team for president and vice president, Libertarian Party. I don't know if they're going to, jump the shark, so to say, and leave the Republican Party and make this campaign happen. But if they run, I say Amash at the top of the ticket and Massey as VP. And I will vote for that. And my wife will probably vote for that. And I don't know about the other libertarians, but that's my dream team right there.
I agree. I agree.
I'm sorry, but I thought your dream team was actually you and Ken Shamrock.
Well, we're still going Mad Dog 2020. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't voting for me, I'd vote for these two. All right.
Okay. A quick correction to myself. I made it derp. I said Barbara Walters, who is the reporter. I meant Barbara Jordan, who is the actual politician in question. My bad. God, I need more coffee. So I meant Barbara Jordan as the statement. It's not Barbara Walters. That was dumb. My bad. But yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, Amash and Massey would be a perfect dream team. It's hilarious how the Covington High is in Massey's district, so he actually got to some national prominence out of that. good on him.
But yeah, no, it's just as far as the internet goes. Like Tyrone, like what are your thoughts? Kind of bring it back around. Do you
The current state of the internet?
Like a new internet, or like what do you think's going on?
I think we have definitely started the early stages of the cyberpunk dystopia. As awful as it sounds, I think the 1980s sadly did actually predict it. The main thing they got wrong though is it's not a right wing. It's not a bunch of right wing pro capitalist fascist corporations. It's a bunch of left wing authoritarian tech companies that are bringing it about. I think Democrats are being more blatant in all spheres because they know that the push is on their side because their fix is in. And I think we can still fight it. I haven't given up. I'm not black-pilled, but I think there definitely needs to be a fight or we're going to lose. Like, there's no way to just coast the way through it. It's a fight now because they definitely have fixes. The ballot stuffing, the caravans, several other factors from like the tech giant censorship, the collusion with the banks, the fact that things like the president of MasterCard is actively working with Patreon and Google to silence competitors. So I think the left is going to push for a corporate government team up. It's going to be corporatism with the tech giants regulating the government. They'll also use things like ICANN. The Electronic Freedom Foundation has already pointed to internet registries are going to be another key battleground that we're going to see. It doesn't get talked about a lot, but that's where they're going to start censoring you next, making sure you can't even get your own thing.
Roll, man. I hate to break it off, but I do want to stop you right there. What do you think about the whole idea of the social credit score that they got in China, right? And this idea, like, I saw a story last night. Facebook is paying kids as young as 13 $20 a month for them to mine their fucking personal data. And they've been doing this shit since 2013. And nobody has said a goddamn word. It's been mum. Yeah, dude.
You can't contract with a minor.
Oh, dude, right? That's what I'm saying as a parent. I'm like, wait a minute, motherfucker. Like, my kid can't even go get a fucking job without my signature. But you're paying him?
Are they giving them money or online like gift certificates or something? Because I don't think they can get money.
$20 a month plus referral fees is what the story told me.
Well, I mean, in that case, you would need parental consent.
Yeah, so it's probably with the parents.
What is parental consent in the digital realm? You can fake that shit, memes.
Oh yeah, but it's not on Facebook.
You can't need a fucking note in. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not sending a note with my kids to the school saying, yeah, they could sit during sex ed, and because that's still a thing in Oregon. We still have to sign off on that. Luckily. Because if you didn't want to sign your kid up for that, you should have the right to pull them out of it. But when we're talking about corporations, we don't have the right, man. Those are these corporations. They do what they fucking want. And you're telling me a 13-year-old won't lie on the internet? Fuck off. I was in the AOL chat rooms. Remember ASL, motherfucker?
Oh, wait. Wait a second. Are you saying that somebody would click to say that they're over 18 on the internet when they're not, in fact, over 18?
Yeah, I was a 12-year-old on the AOL chat room. So, I know.
Because
I remember all of that.
Well, wasn't that the point where you just create a pseudo, an alias, or something like that, and your alias happens to be over said age?
Yeah, exactly.
God, is that how we've got here?
Anyway, bring it back onto point. Yeah, and the reason the tech giants will do stuff like that. Whoops. Oh, there he is. Okay. Well, that was weird. And the reason the tech giants are going to do that is because they're protected by the government. It's because Google, Facebook, Twitter, they share all their government information freely with the NSA and all that stuff. Like, everything you do on them, they give it up. It's like, hey, you give us protection from being investigated and all that, we'll give you all the information you want. Yeah, we'll play ball. And then anyone who doesn't play ball, they get shut down. Anyone who believes in free speech. That's why Gab gets shut out so hard. That's why BitChute and Subscribestar and all that. Anyone who isn't part of that cabal, anyone who isn't on the speed dial that Tim Cook has talked about, And Jack have talked about. We know it's true. It's not a conspiracy. We know they talk to each other. They call each other up and decide, hey, we're thinking of banning this guy, and the others would be like, okay, sounds good. We'll follow suit. We know that happens. They've already admitted to having those combos. And they're protected, and they also, of course, have government people on the speed dial too. And they have allies in there because the left wants them to have this, because they've promised the left that they will play like the media and help reinforce their power, help suppress dissent. That's the cyberpunk.
The left is the media.
Let's entertain all of that. Let's entertain the idea that every single thing you just said, Tyro, is true. Is it illegal?
Anti-collusion collusion is illegal. Yes, under current U.S. law, the collusion.
All of that. Do we have evidence?
The conspiracy is illegal.
Yes, and we know that the Mastercard, Patreon, and and PayPal have tacitly admitted to it through like emails and releases and stuff. Just no one's gone after them, because the people who are supposed to go after them are on the payroll, so they're like, yeah, whatever. That's one of the ways they're protected.
Isn't this where YouTuber Law comes in? He's filing a complaint with the FTC. I'm not sure if you follow that at all, or.
I heard something about that. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. I don't know where that's going to end up. I mean, if Trump's smart, he'll slam him as hard as he can, because those are his enemies. Political speaking, it would be wise for him to actually, in fact, use the government on this case, because there is an actual law being broken. I'm not.
What happened?
Normally,
what's going to happen when he does?
Well, no, MC has a point here, and I think this might be one of the reasons President Trump hasn't just initially gone after it, because he has been aware. He has tweeted out at certain points these censoring of certain conservative folks there. He said it was an issue. And I think what MC's kind of hinting at is, if he just blatantly goes after the folks, even if it's all legal, he will be excoriated for saying he's using his government power to get rid of his political enemies, which is why you would need an actual substantive caseload of direct evidence, not necessarily, well, this one email from this person, but just a substantial amount of irrefutable evidence that literally you would just need to resort to ad homs and saying, I don't like this person. If it comes down to, I don't like this person, then it's like, okay, we have the law. You might not like the law. We have the ability to change the law through our elected representatives, but you're going to need to have a bunch of silver bullets.
I agree.
No.
He needs a solid case. I do agree that he would need a solid case, or he'll lose the PR war. And unfortunately, the Democrats, the lefties know this. That's why it's tough, because they know how to bury bodies.
It's not that they know how to bury bodies. You've got the Democrat organ in charge of the press. Follow exactly along these lines. They don't need to be told what stories to write about Trump. Already hate him.
Yep.
Write these stories. They've been this way for freaking decades.
No, but MC, nobody cares anymore. News thing is such a big thing.
If nobody cared anymore, then explain why so many Democrats won elections.
Well, there was an individual that popped $100 million into campaigns.
4G is causing brain damage, and 5G is just going to get worse. I don't know, MC. I mean, like, you can't explain it to me, dude. I vote in Oregon. So I'm raging against the machine, right? Like, dude, I can vote.
As soon as somebody comes up with a plan, an effective plan, the only plan that's going to work, which is to remove and change the very structure of the government that available, you shy away.
You're back to the Convention of States. Do you think the good states outweigh the bad? Because that's what we need to talk about here then. Look at the map.
It's not a matter of who's good and who's bad. It's a matter of, can you change it any other way?
You're not going to change it that way. And if you do, you're going to change it for the worse.
You're not.
No, I don't want
that way. It's the only chance you have. You're not going to change it for the worse. It can't get any worse because it's already headed that way.
Well, I think we can agree it can always get worse. Let's preface that. It can always get worse. In terms of it's heading that way, yeah, it's definitely heading to a bad place. At current projection, without some kind of interruption of the process, we are going to enter the cyberpunk dystopia phase, but without the cool flying cars. So it's even worse than the movies told us, because we're not even going to have all the cool tech stuff
on that.
Yeah, but we're not going to have flying DeLoreans, which sucks. We're not going to have hoverboards. We're just going to have constant, omnipresent spying everywhere.
We have bastardized hoverboards.
Okay, yeah, that's true. The question is, what can be done? I'm not sure. The build your own might work. The build your own, and so the people who are disillusioned could go to it. Yeah. The problem is the enemies still have some control over the ability to build your own. That's why like BitChute is a great idea, but the MasterCard and PayPal colluded to get it shut down. That's why they can't use Stripe for stuff. Now there are other funders like Second Amendment Payer or Second Amendment something or another. I've heard about it. There's a pay source that you could use that would fund them. But how long before the banks decide, oh, we're not going to accept any transfers from you at all? And if the Democrats take, and really the only reason we're allowed to thrive right now is because Trump's in power. So we don't have to worry about the government getting in on the act like under Obama. If someone like Kamala Harris were to say cheat her way to presidency, yeah, you'd have the FTC and the SEC and the FDIC. The FDIC is actually one of the big bad guys here. You would have them cracking down hard on all funding sources, just shutting down, like even up. I mean, we've theorized even up to a point of shutting down personal bank accounts. If you get prominent enough, Milo Yiannopoulos, you'll be told, no, you can't open a bank account with us. We're closing your bank account. No, we don't. The FDIC tells us we're not allowed to do bank account with any risky or dangerous people. And the Southern Poverty Law Center, which the government recognizes as having the power to call you dangerous, says you are. So we're not allowed to have a bank account with you anymore. Otherwise, the FDIC will investigate the heck out of us. We're getting to that point. That's
illegal, and that's also why the SPLC is being sued. Right now.
Don't even talk about the fucking Southern Poverty Law Center. They can kiss my rebel ass. Fuck them and the horse they rode on. But here's the thing: when you're looking at political speech, it is a protected classification of speech. I have the right to fucking go out and shill for the libertarians. Memes here, he could be Tim Pool and fucking
protected speech. Protected by what?
Protected by who? Protected how?
The freedom of speech, MC. I get to say, I get to tell you. See, I get to tell you, go fuck your mother. Tell you that.
What's protecting you from doing that?
Yeah, what stops? Hold on. What stops Discord right now from deleting your server because the SPLC says you are a hateful person? Nothing. What stops? And if the FDIC decides that you are a risky person, what protects you from having your bank account closed? If they decide that if they tell banks don't do business with this person anymore, what stops that? Nothing. If the government decides to gang up on you, you can't take your gun and go shoot up a bank. Or you can't go shoot up the FDIC. You're still allowed to say anything, but the problem is the left has realized the trick is not to outlaw the speech here in America, because that one we could fight against. The trick is to basically say anyone who steps out of line too far, you make an example of them. You ruin their life to a point where they're like Job from the Bible, where everyone will just ignore them because now they're an out of sight madman, essentially. And that's the step that they're reaching towards. That's what they will do in the next few years.
I like that. I like what you just did there. And I'm gonna raise you one here and say Alex Jones. He's not Job. He's not out there raging in the fucking desert for fucking 40 years like Moses. Right? And that's what they're afraid of. They're afraid of us. They're afraid, because we can win. We can win.
Is he still a thing?
I mean, the shutdown on Alex Jones has been the most complete one that we've seen on an individual so far, I would say. But if he keeps thriving, though, I think they're going to find something new to throw at him. What it is, I don't know yet.
He's not thriving the way he did before. He's not part of the national discourse the way he was before.
Yeah, they definitely.
InfoWars was always being discussed on the national discourse daily. People would point out that this person on InfoWars said X, Y, Z. Now a lot of it was freaking ridiculous. All right, but he was part of that national discourse. You don't see that now.
No, do you think he's fucking hungry though? Is what I'm saying. Did they shut him down?
They shut him down.
Denied access to the open markets of the internet where much video dissemination is located.
He has been shut down. His reach, his impact on the national discourse has been neutered.
Yes, he has definitely suffered damage. I would say that he hasn't been put completely out of business, but he had definitely sustained damage. Now, if he finds a way to overcome that, I think then we're going to see what's next. Because they definitely didn't hit him with everything they could. There's definitely worse they could do. And I'm curious what the next step is. Because, yeah, he's not stopping. He's still going despite all that, which is impressive. I got a lot of respect for the guy for keeping it up. A lot of people would quit at that stage.
No, so is Mark Dice. So is the Mises Institute, for one. I mean, like, there is voices out there.
Their voices are there, MADDS. The voices are there, but that's not the point. The point is that the voices aren't being heard.
Well,
they're not where they need to be part of the national discourse anymore. They've been shunned out of the national discourse.
So that comes down to, do we have certain rights and actually, national responsibilities, like on the internet in and of itself? Because what I'm curious with everybody that's currently here is, I think I touched upon this a little bit before, but in the Fifth Amendment, it does specifically say, basically, after you go into the basically ability to not incriminate yourself, it says, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. If you remove somebody's from one of these major platforms, which are almost acting as in form of a market at some place, what's the market? It's eyeballs and stuff like that. Access to potential consumers. Are these folks being deprived of property? Yeah. No, I'm just curious. What do you think, Matt?
Well, under normal circumstances, all things being equal, I would have said no. But all things aren't equal. I have thought about this for quite a while. Is YouTube, is Twitter, are these or are these like the public square? Are these like a utility? And the only thing I can come back with is they function like a utility. At which point, if they're a utility, if this is the market square, okay, whether I like it or not, the market square, if it's going to be public, has to be maintained in a public environment, and that has to be allowed. You can't deny people it because you don't like what they're selling. What they're selling, then you denying them access to that market isn't legal. And that's where I think we've gotten with Twitter, and that's where I think with Facebook. I don't care, and I'll tell you why. Because Facebook can literally come and go. All right, Facebook has it grew up, but it basically supplanted MySpace. Some innovative things, but for the most part, it in and of itself, all right, isn't really a marketplace. Yes, YouTube is. In these two areas,
is it really making that much money? Because they seem to be in the red all the time.
I'm talking about from an it's part of the national infrastructure. I know.
Yeah, no, it's now like me, a voice. UMC. I mean, really, like Like, you think they like what you have?
As it did happen and then was restored, it does seem like it could have been a glitch because I know there were some other people affected. Again, it could have been maybe there was a report or something. But again, you said you had no strikes or anything. That's why I'm like, that sounds like it was an inadvertent. Somebody was trying to update something and they.
Okay. What would target me?
You were using the old Gavin McGinnis get off my lawn that I suggested to you.
They were targeting McGinnis, and I got whacked with that.
I'm sorry.
I mean, if that's your theory, I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, it's possible.
It was the most logical explanation that I heard somebody say at one point. Oh my God!
Even then, how logical? You say it's the most logical. Okay, how logical is that?
Well, seeing as I think around the same time Gavin McGinnis still had his channel, and I did see other segments, I have no idea.
Oh, real quick. Hi, Lo-Fi. Bye, Lo-Fi. She just popped in real quick because she saw I was on, but she's going to bed right now.
Night, Lo-Fi.
All right.
So, all right. So now that we've done the doom and gloom of the show, solutions. How the hell do we fix the internet?
Nuke it from orbit. That's the only way to be sure.
No. Oh.
And this is the issue we have. We have to handle the penguin menace. Everybody, if you see a penguin, you kick it, all right? And you kick it fucking hard.
No. Leave our penguin brethren alone.
Penguins are adorable.
Wait, aren't they also venomous? No, wait, that's platypi.
No. Penguins are adorable.
What did you just say, Memes?
Holy shit, do penguins have venom now? Like
no. I confused them with nocturnal platypus, which the males actually do have venom in their spurs.
Yes?
Yeah, penguins and platypi are not the same.
Well, penguins are not poisonous, but what did you call them?
Oh, platypi.
What did you call the penguins?
Working with the Clinton.
Oh,
he made a comment that he made a comment. He called them his what?
Oh, my brethren.
He's calling the Nazi penguins his brethren. What does that tell you?
Wait, how are penguins Nazis now? Wait, what?
The National Socialist moniker just happens to be an additional identity while they're guarding the edge of the flat earth.
Penguin menace? Like, you don't know?
No. I mean, I've watched March of the Penguins. They seem cute.
He was already filled in with the propaganda. He's already been infected.
I mean, there was Happy Feet. Happy Feet was pretty obvious propaganda.
Wait a second. By this logic, if penguins are Nazis and Mr. Popper raises and promotes penguins, therefore Jim Carrey is a Nazi?
Jim Carrey is a Nazi, but that's a separate issue.
I don't know. I mean,
no, if you're wondering, Tyro, where this all came from, this came from a meme that I put out. Was it 2 years ago now? So it's kind of like a running theme on the show.
Yeah, we've been rolling with this joke for since the Redeye's been around, MC. Yeah, we're going on 3 years on this motherfucker.
Wow. Oh, that's awesome. I appreciate a good running gag. Is it because they're tuxedos? Like, does tuxedos be there in the top 20%?
I put the meme out with the Nazi penguins because of somebody was a flat earther. So they were coming out with what was really going on and what was really hiding there. So I came up with the meme for Nazi penguins were hiding there, and that's where Hitler actually went to hide.
God damn YouTube.
Oh,
well, that was me. I'm the one who said nuke it.
And what's the wing print to use the space elevator to get up?
Wait, what?
Well,
he's asking if they have a space elevator.
No,
space elevator.
Do you have a space elevator?
No.
I'm thinking, you don't know about the penguins because they're that goddamn sneaky, and they're gonna put holes in your grid, bro.
All right.
Like it's already fucked, dude, from the inside. Like they're working against you actively. The penguins are a fucking issue. They're working with the goddamn raping dolphins. It's fucked, dude.
Our only defense was actually the orcas, and because the orcas now won't eat the right kind of salmon.
Right.
They're
the
expanding the realm.
Dolphins and orcas will kill dolphins, right?
Not really, no.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. I would think they would go after dolphins. I mean, dolphin steaks are tasty.
The dolphins could take down the sharks, and we even gave the sharks laser beams. So I mean, shit's getting serious. You know what I'm saying?
The orcas weren't too happy when we gave the sharks lasers.
I see. So we need to get our tuna with extra dolphin from now on. Yeah, so
tell me for what line right now. Like, God damn it.
That could be a purposeful discussion.
Yeah. Well, actually, hey, we should invite Porpoiseful in here for that then. National Libertarian.
He has been here before.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so it's kind of like how we have a mandatory 10% ethanol in our gas. We should have 10% dolphin in our tuna fish from now on. That'll sell.
No.
What do you mean no?
I liked Flipper. That was a great show, even though they kept on recycling stock footage.
And what does Flipper taste like? He might be delicious.
Sharks are delicious.
Like chicken of the sea.
Tastes like chicken of the sea. Sounds like he's delicious.
Yeah.
Just because something's delicious doesn't mean we should eat it. I'm sure I've heard good thing about lion steaks, but that doesn't mean we should eat them.
No. Carnivores are not good eating. The reason we like herbivore meat is because the energy level. Carnivore meat tends to not taste as good because of the the nature of the energy.
It also tends to be it tends to be overly lean. We don't get a lot of the enzymes that you get from the fat of herbivores.
Right. Yeah.
We like fat.
Which is why
fat's good for you.
Animals that don't have a lot of fat in them, rabbits are one. Believe it or not.
Yeah, rabbit meat's kind of eh. I tried it once. I was like, meh, okay.
No, I'm not a big fan of stuff like even like veal and kind of gamey. Not a really big fan.
I like
veals can be good. I mean, you're talking venison. Is that what you meant, memes?
Probably. Which one's the young thing that they kill?
Veal is the young one, and venison is the deer.
Veal is a young calf. It's not a deer.
Yeah, that's good stuff. I like veal. But
both begin with V.
Yeah, no problem. But no, I think we should always eat things that are tasty. If they're tasty, eat them. That's why they're tasty, because our bodies are because taste. When we register something as tasty, that's our body telling us eat this because it's okay for you to eat. If something tastes you to us, that's a sign don't eat that because
it's either that or it's the crack cocaine and you're now addicted.
That too, yes.
Well, actually, no. You talk about getting folks addicted to food. Back in the 90s, McDonald's actually got sued because they put a sugar glaze on their buns that was being put into the kids' meals. And my father back in the day was always like, I wonder why Memes always wants to go to McDonald's. And I would clarify because they would try to troll me and be like, oh, little Memes, we're going to go to BK McDonald's, which was actually Burger King. I'm like, no, McDonald's. And then my dad found out they got sued and they lost the case. And they had to stop putting the sugar glaze on because kids like sugar. It's true. It's true.
Well, yeah. I mean, McDonald's was my guilty pleasure growing up. Like when I was like 2 or 3, if mom took me out with shopping and I was a good kid, I got a 4 or 6 piece chicken McNugget. I mean, not every single day, but maybe once or twice a month. Something special. Don't load your kid up with junk food, but now and then it's not going to kill you. And and these days here as an adult, now and then if I get hungry and I'm feeling down, I'll get a 50-piece chicken McNugget meal. I mean, that's a good dinner right there.
I love how you went from a 6-piece chicken nugget dinner as a kid to a 50 adult.
Yeah. The whole concept of supersize.
I watched that movie while eating Subway.
I'll be honest with you. One of the things that I find interesting is the regular drink at McDonald's used to be a large. It used to be the large drink. The small drink used to be the medium drink.
Well, no, why haven't they came out with a supersized bucket of fucking chicken nuggets? You know what I'm saying? Where there's like fucking 500 of these motherfuckers in there.
New York outlawed it.
Yeah.
Imagine what it would be like to try and cook that much.
Yeah,
They would have to have a whole grease
when I
thing
think-
just for that.
Oh, that'd be fun. I used to really like the chicken McNuggets back in the old days when they were like dark meat and skin, and they were good. Then they changed to white meat, and they've never been as good since. Like ever since the '90s, chicken McNuggets have not been as good as they used to be because they used to be really fatty.
Yeah, don't look at them under a microscope.
Oh God, no! Are you kidding? I mean, I've
Don't
eaten
look at your freaking hand under a microscope. If you really want to see something, if you go down far enough,
I'm not trying to eat my hand right now, MC. That was before.
You were licking it, weren't you?
Yeah, no. Don't go to McDonald's expecting good food. I think we can all agree on that. But as a guilty pleasure, just don't eat it a lot. Like if I eat McDonald's, it's going to be once or twice a year to put it in reference. Like most of the time, I'm not eating that. But yeah, one of my problems with Supersize Me though is he didn't even try to vary it up. Like he always went for the unhealthy burger stuff. He didn't even try like they have salad, they have yogurt and parfaits. You know, as Donkey said, no one complains about a good parfait. You know. But he never tried to vary it up.
He had an extremely sedentary. He wasn't like he was going off to the gym and using those compact calories for everything. And I think we can all agree, yes, you should use McDonald's sparingly because when in doubt, Wendy's it out.
Oh no, I'm in Texas. We have a lot of.
No, we're going in and out, and then we're hitting up Wiener Schnitzel, dude.
Hey,
we're doing
not all of us have in-and-out privilege up here.
Yeah, besides, In-N-Out pales in comparison to Whataburger anyway here in Texas. I mean, In-N-Out is a distance.
It's like that.
Nowhere.
He's not wrong. Mad Dog, he's not wrong. Whataburger is far superior to In-N-Out burgers.
Yeah, I mean, I've had both. I've had In-N-Out in Texas, and I've had Whataburger in Texas, and Whataburger is superior in terms of the quality of the meat, the size of the burger, the overall taste and flavor.
The shakes, the milkshakes, like the vanilla milkshakes that are in In-N-Out burger are superior. They really are.
I agree on that. Now, I will also preface this and say I can only judge on In-N-Out in here in Texas. It is possible the In-N-Out in Texas is inferior to the California one. I've had a few California people tell me that our In-N-Outs are not as good as the California In-N-Outs. I don't know how much of that is actual truth and how much of that's just subjective in their minds. I don't know.
It's more true than it isn't.
Oh, the secret menu.
I mean, I've traveled all over. I've eaten In-N-Out burger all over the place.
All right, I'm gonna check out chat. God damn it! For the love of Doug and blueberries, we keep holy. I'm gonna go look at the chat. Go ahead.
All right. I'll take dyed meat. That means if it turns gray, it's bad. That's what Epileptic Insomniac says. James Von Maxwell says, hey guys, I like In-N-Out for the burgers, Whataburger for the fries. In-N-Out fries kind of suck. And he also says Five Guys. I agree. Five Guys is definitely better than Whataburger. I don't lump Five Guys in with normal fast food since they do cook it fresh. And it is a little more expensive than typical fast food. But yeah, Five Guys is probably my favorite mid-tier burger. Easily. I love the whole, like, you order it and you get to dump as many toppings as you like on it. Really nice.
Yes, it's so messy though, and the fries are really good.
Well, no, I hit up. We like to go to the steakhouse, and you know they have like the Clint Eastwood burger, which is fucking. It's great. It has some tangy fucking barbecue sauce on it, some bacon and shit. Like it's really, you know, Clint Eastwood. It is what it is. It's a good damn burger. But if I'm gonna go like to the drive-in, whatever, with the kids to get them a goddamn Happy Meal, where am I going? I'm going fucking McDonald's. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's the thing. It's the thing that's affordable and readily available. But if you have the option to go to a Five Guys or like a mid-level burger place, it's quite good. And yes, hey James, my furry brethren. Yes, MC. I do use certain folks that use avatars and stuff, and we'll say my brethren because who doesn't like to be part of a group?
Well,
I
you're furry.
would not be part of any club that would have me as a member.
Furry affiliation all aside, what is up, James? I don't consider him a furry. But you know, I mean, you know, do what you do.
He's a good hamster.
All good.
And it's all right,
they keep
Tyro, we
talking
accept your insect folks as well.
Yeah,
insectoid.
I am not a furry in any way, shape, or form. My
you're
avatar
Tom.
is strictly for symbolic purposes. It is not an endorsement of the furry community in any way, shape, or form. I'm very
You're
much
such
on
an
the camp of
adorable
gas
cricket
all
with
fur
a moon base.
Yes, gas all the fur fags from space.
Well, laughing gas. And it's only if you're a dentist.
No,
Greg Neck.
One day I dream of an Auschwitz in America where we dump all the furries into, and we laugh as they burn.
All the way back around, motherfuckers. Just check this shit out. Okay, everything. Bunch of bullshit. The whole world is burning down, right? See if the Democrats actually unseat President Trump and they take over. They're gonna kill the internet as we know it, aren't they? Like
It'll kill the internet, but then what they'll do is at some point when people are rioting because people start starving to death because of their policies, they'll order the military to shoot on the people, and some military units will shoot and some won't, and then a civil war will begin.
Yeah.
Wait, are you blaming the furries for the Civil War?
I think, unfortunately, a good chunk of the furries are going to be on the wrong side of that one. A lot of furries are going to be on the left, and they're going to get shot. They're going to be up against the wall and executed for being traitors.
There are Nazi furries.
Have you seen some of the documentaries from people or some of these YouTube channels where they talk about how stupid farmers are and how easy it is to farm, and that if they had to end up going to war, they could just take over the farms because they know they can farm themselves?
Yeah, just like Venezuela tried, and oh look, mass starvation and eating zoo animals.
Well, I was going to be a little bit more hardcore than that. What about Zimbabwe? Aren't they begging the white farmers from South Africa right now? They're like, hey, y'all come over here.
Because Zimbabwe purged its white farmers. That's why, yeah. Yeah, I actually know a guy, met him through work. He owns a shoe company in Zimbabwe. He was visiting over here, talked to him, and he's like, yeah, the Zimbabwe economy collapsed. What's happening is because South Africa's economy is collapsing because of all the socialism, now no one is buying Zimbabwe-made leather shoes. And so now what little economy Zimbabwe had exporting to South Africa is collapsing. And so South Africa is taking the whole region down with it as it goes crazy.
Well, South Africa was the power base of the African continent at this point, right? I mean, that's where the economy actually pushed. That's where, and I don't know, it was the only first world country in Africa, right? Or am I just being a fucking idiot here?
It was, I think it could be reasonably described as one. Yeah, under apartheid, South Africa was definitely a leader of the African continent. Yeah. I mean, the English and the English and the Boers did a very good job about managing the economy and being capitalist. And then once the socialists under Nelson Mandela won, everything went to shit. Yeah.
No, and it's interesting you say under apartheid, because apartheid's a dirty word, right?
Oh, yeah, over there. But they don't like to admit it. Well, the problem is apartheid, while also somewhat socialist in nature, the apartheid, under the apartheid government, it was more capitalist than under Nelson Mandela. As soon as they went more pro-government, their economy collapsed, as always happens every time you go big government. So the problem was the opposition to apartheid didn't come from the right, like it did, like in a lot of cases, the civil rights movement in the South. It didn't come from the right; it came from the leftist communist base, which is what led to South Africa's collapse, as opposed to southern U.S., where it was like the chambers of commerce and a lot of white business owners who led the charge for overturning the Jack Crow laws, because they wanted to sell stuff to black people because black people had money. And it was like, we want their money. Stop telling us we can't take their money.
Well, there was also the additional factor that the government started wasting money, that they wanted to become a nuclear power. And they put a lot and threw a lot of resources, governmental resources, in developing nuclear weapons for themselves. So, I mean, that's one of the reasons why, we talk about corruption and stuff like that.
We got James. He says, let's see here. Yeah, farmers are stupid. Stalin found out farmers are pretty damn smart after he killed all the good ones.
Yeah.
South Africa's gonna see. That's the way it is. It's not gonna end well. You think you're in a fucking drought already? How about you kill the white farmers and really eliminate your ability to produce food?
Yep, that's what's going to happen. Same here. I mean, Mao found that out too. Because, I mean, to be fair, Mao was a little more careful about not messing with the farmers. But unfortunately, like the time he screwed with agriculture was the Great Leap Forward, which caused the mass starvation. And it was like, okay, not going to mess with the farmers this time. Okay, yeah. Like he learned his lesson when he messed with the farming stuff, because he was like, all right. But yeah, Pol Pot, same deal. He killed his intellectuals. Oh, the intellectuals are the ones who know how to do things. Oh, yeah.
So no, but one of the things that I believe a gentleman from South Africa, is he told me that a lot of this, the issue is kind of self-inflicted, because I heard that basically the country ran out of money, because what they were doing based upon the original constitution is, if the government were to take land, I believe they were going to pay compensation. It was often negotiated by whomever the farmer was. And what I heard ended up happening very often is you might have an individual whose farm was worth $5 million or something, but the government was not necessarily the best negotiator, and then they ended up paying like several 100%, like maybe 25 million for said $5 million farm. So they were purchasing up farms and everything and then redistributing it, but they ended up kind of screwing themselves. Like I heard one time, it was literally like there was a very large farm, like $200 million, maybe $150 million, and they spent almost like $500 million on it. So a lot of this is kind of like bad business deals. I'm not sure of the exact numbers, but where's that?
Oh, where are you saying this happened?
South Africa. Like what I'm saying is often the government made poor negotiating decisions, thereby running out of money, thereby at this point pretty much amending the Constitution, so saying, yeah, we're going to take land without compensation. And that sounds like an absolutely terrible precedent.
Yeah, oh yeah, it is. Like if you listen to the president on it, MC had to leave because he ran out of voice. Sorry, I had to go, MC. I actually like discussing with you, MC. I think you and I should have like a stream chat at some point. You're interesting. Yeah, with because if you listen to the president say, it's like, oh no, we're going to take their land, but don't worry, it won't be illegal. We will pass a law making it legal, and then it's okay. So their government adheres to the really scary precedent of if it's legal, it's okay, which is the opposite of what you want your government officials to believe.
Well, but that is what you're supposed to do in government. You're supposed to do what's legal, and I mean, to be fair to the guy, he was being honest. You can disagree with it all day long. I can say, hey, this don't seem fair, but he was completely transparent with what he did.
Yeah, transparent. Yes, transparently evil. I agree on that. Well, they have no understanding over there that just because you can doesn't mean you should. You know, that there are limits to how far the government should reach. They don't understand that over there. And that's really, really scary, because that's what the Democrats over here want. They want just unchecked government, where they've got the numbers, so they get to set all the rules in their favor, and they can just rape whoever they want, and they're okay with that. That's the end goal.
No. The issue there is that's a violation. Go on, Matt.
Yeah, no. Here's the thing, though. Yeah, here's the thing. All right. So when you have places like South Africa, Zimbabwe, and these places where they're actually doing racial policies to where they can seize and take the land that has been in someone's family for 3 or 4 generations. Let's be real about this. You might think that colonialization was bad. Okay. How else you would have sent the Western civilization all across the globe? But, think what you want to think. Go for it. You can think it's bad all you fucking want. The fact is, though, under a colonization type program, apartheid, unfortunately, they were better off than they will be in the near future. Watch my words. They will burn down. will no longer be the only bastion of free society in Africa. It's going to end. It's over.
The issue you kind of run into there is just you're going to be unfair, and just the standard pathetic principle of social justice is that injustice will not stand. And that's something that should just be a principle to be held throughout. Because I remember MC was talking about principles before, and here's an actual answer. It's just you shouldn't just utilize the shield of social justice to protect those who may currently or historically have been oppressed and stuff. And you don't simply just reforge that into a sword to strike down those who you disagree with. That's fucking wrong. You don't correct historical injustices by then heaping injustice upon those that you disagree with. That's fucking wrong.
Yep, the sins of the father are not the sins of the son. If just because an ancestor 100 years ago did something doesn't mean you hold the current person accountable for what their ancestor did 100 years ago. Unless you have some kind of clear delineation, maybe of material like, oh, you stole from this ancient heirloom from me, your family 100 years ago, and he sold it, and he based your entire family fortune on it. So, pay me back something. I mean, maybe you can make that case, but other than that,
a specific case.
No.
An entity.
You know what? No. What is real quick though? What it sounds like you're talking about is reparations. You want to argue reparations in the American sense? We got about 4 minutes left, so I don't have the time to do it. But you know what? In the Civil War, and guess what? They're the only ones that lost property. Sorry. Let's look at the Constitution, how it's written. You know what I'm saying, and it is what it is.
Well, actually, here's the thing. That based upon entities existing and stuff, these states did exist. The government did still exist. So, and when you got states like, I believe it was Mississippi, coming out and apologizing and stuff, that is a bit of a tacit admission.
You know what you haven't heard though? You haven't heard Delaware saying sorry about slavery. You haven't heard Louisiana say sorry? Fuck no, not my home state. Nope.
What I'm saying is, in trying to wrap in the next 2.5 minutes a discussion on that, there may actually be a case for that.
Let's not start a whole new topic. Let's go jump to like concluding thoughts here on current state of internet. I think that'd probably be a good use of our time.
Yeah, absolutely. Tyro, you go ahead and lead off. It's your idea. Go for it. What's your idea on the current state of the internet? Is the internet strong?
I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. If it gets better, I think the time shows that the tighter they hold their grip, the more people are going to slip through the fingers. Star Wars reference. Eventually, more and more people are going to amass who oppose the current hegemony, and they are going to try to build their own. We're already seeing it. The current forces are opposing it pretty hard. I actually have a video planned here called the Biswell Barrier, where I'm going to dissect the stages of opposition here. I think we're going to see more ideas rise and fall before something gets going, before the things are able to click, before the critical mass develops. But I think we're reaching a critical mass of opposition. I think we're approaching that point. But until we do, it's a race. It's a race because they need to shut down the critical mass before it can form through some kind of major, like, boom, just utter destruction of the opposition. So it's a race for them to get to their point. And so on our side, it's a race to get to that critical mass so we can have our own environment that they can't touch or mess with. And hopefully one that can stop them from getting the tools they need to do it. What those tools are, not sure. What the critical mass is, not sure. Who's going to win? I'm not sure yet. I don't think it'll be 2020. I don't think they're going to win that. I think Trump will win 2020, barring mass scale cheating on the Democrat part, which is a possibility, but a low probability. I think it's more likely 2024 will be the big one. I think 2024 presidential race, that's going to be the fight. Because I think whoever the Democrats nominate there is going to have a whole lot of cheating mechanisms in place, and they're just going to run almost on pure fascism and corporatism. I'm complaining too, but you guys get what I mean. I'm being a little fast and loose with my language here, but I think 2024 that's the cutoff point. If we don't have the critical mass by then, I think we might lose.
Yeah, and just interject my point for 15 seconds. All I see is a lot of this we've all kind of contributed in one way to what's going on here. And I think it's kind of like what Tyro was saying. Like, yeah, you might have the right to say something. Doesn't mean you should always say it. And I think on the internet, we kind of act in almost an intoxicated state. And, oh, there's not a person right in front of me, so I'll act different than I would in real life. I think we need a little bit more being genuine to each other. So that's my bit.
All right, well, to wrap it all up, watching, please go hit up Irate Prostate Show. He's starting here, maybe right now, guys. Like, hit up the bus and head over to Irate Prostate Show. Check that shit out. My ideas on the current state of the internet, it's a fight. And I think we can win it. Wrap us out of here, Optimus. We're done. Peace.